Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blame It on the Stars, where we give you an inside look at what's going on in the universe so you can blame your problems on the stars. It is Jade here.
And it's Kara.
And this week, we're talking all about Mercury moving into Virgo, Jupiter trining the North Node, Uranus stationing retrograde, and the lunar eclipse in Pisces. There's a lot going on, but in case you missed it, last week Venus entered Leo. We had Uranus sextile Neptune and Saturn retrograded back into Pisces. So if you want to know more about that, then definitely check out last week's episode before diving into this one.
And just to give you a heads up, next week we will tell you everything that you need to know about Mercury in Libra and how it affects you.
And with that being said, let's dive into the episode. So the first thing happening this week that you're going to want to pay attention to is Mercury entering Virgo. That'll be happening on September 2nd at 9:23 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And per usual, the date and time are from the website astroseek.com. What you need to know. Mercury in Virgo will be a time where you are thinking more clearly. You're able to plan really well and communication flows a little bit more effortlessly. This transit is really about efficiency, being practical, and paying attention to the details. So this is a really great time for organizing, editing, clarifying any plans, or tightening up some systems that need reworking.
How you will feel. While Mercury's in Virgo, you're going to feel more focused and on top of things, making it easier to get things done and keep up with your habits. Just be mindful that it's really easy to start overthinking or get caught up in the details. Virgo energy is very detail oriented, so it can be really easy to focus on the details. So remember to take breaks and slow down so that you don't get caught over analyzing or stuck trying to make sure everything is perfect.
So where this will show up in your life, this will show up wherever you've got routines going on, work, schedules. This might also show up in your health habits or any task that could benefit from some type of structure or checklist. This is a good window of opportunity for learning skills that require focus.
What will become important to you? During this time, you're going to be very focused on communicating clearly and getting the details right. Any plans that you create during this time are going to be more focused on being practical and overall just doing things that make sense to you in the context of your life. Also, this is a time where you might find comfort in knowing that things are organized and planned so that you're able to fully relax.
If you're wondering how long this lasts, Mercury will be in Virgo until September 18th at 6:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, when it will enter Libra.
And per usual, certain signs will be more affected than others. The signs most affected by Mercury in Virgo are Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius. Personal placements only, meaning Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, and or Mars.
And there are a few key dates you're going to want to pay attention to. These are the aspects that Mercury will make as it moves through Virgo. Starting off on September 3rd, Mercury will square Uranus, which can bring an unexpected energy, but it is still a good day to be flexible and think of alternative solutions to certain challenges you might be presented with.
And then on September 11th, Mercury will be opposite the North Node. This aspect can make conversations feel especially meaningful. The things that people say might help you realize what's worth focusing on and maybe what is just a distraction. It's a good day to notice where your attention goes and what discussions should we have in order to move forward.
The day after, on September 12th, Mercury will be sextile Jupiter, which makes this a good day for any studying or planning. This is also a good day for big picture thinking, but you'll have the Virgo energy to support with practical follow through.
And lastly, on September 17th, Mercury will be opposite Saturn, which can bring about some realizations about what's working and what's not working. It could feel like certain plans or expectations aren't going as expected, but that's kind of a part of this transit. It will help you realize what needs to be changed or adjusted, especially related to any long-term plans or structures in your life.
The next thing happening this week that's worth noting is Jupiter will be trine the North Node. This is on September 4th at 3:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you need to know is this is a day that has a lot of supportive growth energy, so there might be more opportunities popping up. This could feel kind of like the things that are presenting themselves to you are right place, right time, as they might be more in alignment with what your long-term goals are.
How you will feel. This energy is very uplifting. You're going to feel more optimistic and excited about your future. It's a good day to focus on seeing the bigger picture and to say yes to any opportunities that come up for you. There also might be a sense of excitement and motivation on this day that can be very energizing, helping you to trust the process and continue working towards your goals.
So where this will show up in your life, think career moves, education, plans, travel, mentorship, goal setting, any type of area of your life that requires you to learn something new and grow in some way. People or ideas that show up now could matter more later.
What will become important to you? On this day, your mindset is going to shift from just wanting to check off the boxes on your to-do list to doing things that really align with your passions and bigger goals in life. You're going to value staying open to new opportunities and guidance, and also noticing support that comes up for you along the way. Overall, it's about trusting the process and allowing yourself to just enjoy the positive energy.
The next thing happening this week that you're going to want to pay attention to is Uranus stationing retrograde in Gemini. This will happen on September 6th at 12:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that could be the 5th if you're in a different time zone. What you need to know is that in general, retrogrades tend to slow down things, and being that this is an outer planet that's been making a lot of societal changes, there could be a slowdown in some of those big innovative changes happening in the world, and there could be more of a shift to rethinking ideas, tech habits, and how you connect or learn.
How you will feel. You might notice the shift in your mindset with your thoughts feeling a little bit more scattered or restless. It could be helpful to write things down and externalize all of your thoughts, especially because you're more likely to come up with new ideas or approaches that you maybe haven't considered or a little bit more innovative or experimental. Do your best not to judge the things that are coming up for you and give yourself space to process everything.
So where this will show up in your life, in communication, in your social networks, in education, and in the media, you can expect there to be revisions to your approach. This might not be the most drastic shifts. It could just look like making minor adjustments in all of those different areas of your life that I just mentioned.
What will become important to you? This could be a time to let go of any old assumptions that you have outgrown or maybe just don't align anymore. You also might notice that you're more likely to question things and to explore new perspectives. This is a good time to focus on sharing your ideas with others and making learning or finding out new information more of a priority.
If you're wondering how long this lasts, Uranus will be retrograde for quite a while, but the next shift that is worth noting is Uranus will retrograde back into Taurus on November 7th at 9:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And certain signs will be affected more than others. The signs that are most affected by Uranus retrograde in Gemini are Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. Personal placements only.
And lastly, we will end this busy week with the lunar eclipse in Pisces. This will be on September 7th at 2:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what you need to know is that eclipses mark culminations or turning points. And being that this is in the sign of Pisces, this will be a focus on intuition, compassion, and emotional clarity.
How you will feel. Around the time of the eclipse, you can expect to feel things very deeply and also to be more in touch with your intuitive side. You might notice that you're picking up on things or more in tune with those around you. You can expect also to maybe have vivid dreams, gut feelings, or notice things changing in unexpected ways because eclipses can bring about big shifts. With all of that in mind, remember to give yourself space and time to process the things that are coming up. Pisces is a very creative energy, so that could be one way to channel the energy. Or you might even be drawn to watching movies, creating playlists, just finding different ways to express yourself.
So where this will show up in your life, outside of finding new creative outlets, this could also look like reflecting on your boundaries and how you restore your energy after feeling a little bit drained. This is definitely an eclipse where you might be thinking more about closing out certain chapters of your life that are draining you.
What will become important to you? This is a time to focus on trusting the process and letting go of things that aren't aligned anymore. You might find yourself leaning on your gut instincts and trusting your inner guidance when it comes to decision making or processing the things that are going on. Again, focus on creating space for your own peace and healing because that will help you reconnect with yourself and figure out what is supportive.
Certain signs will be affected more than others by this eclipse, and those signs will be Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius. Personal placements only, meaning Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, or Mars placements. And there are some aspects to this eclipse that make it just a little bit more interesting, starting off with the fact that the sun will be conjunct Mercury and the moon will be opposite Mercury. This could look like having big conversations or learning something new about a particular situation. This is a good time to be journaling, to clarify certain things that might cause some confusion. And also, if there's certain things you've been holding yourself back from saying that you need to say, this might prompt you to want to start those conversations.
During the eclipse, the sun will be sextile Jupiter with the moon trine Jupiter. This is a very optimistic and supportive aspect. It can give you a little bit of motivation, spark, encouragement to keep working towards your goals. It also makes it a good time to be social and connect with others.
And that is it for this week's episode. Just a reminder, next week we'll be talking all about Mercury and Libra. So if you want to know more about that, then definitely make sure wherever you're listening to the podcast, you're subscribed with the notifications turned on so you don't miss when we post next week. But until then, that is all for now. And we'll see you all next Monday. Bye.